Hello KeenGamers and welcome to another review. This time we'll be checking out two pieces of hardware, the Monka Storm gaming keyboard and the Monka Guru gaming mouse. So let's jump straight in. Let's begin with the keyboard. This here is the Monka Storm, otherwise known as KG911W, and as you can see, it's a keyboard with 97 keys with a relatively simple design and a really unique layout. However, the first thing that catches the eye is undoubtedly the color combination. The white casing with black, red and grey PBT keycaps looks quite good, and aesthetically it definitely gives the impression that it's primarily a gaming keyboard. The legends on the keys are still somewhat restrained and minimal, even clearly indicating alternative functions, so you don't need a manual at hand when you want to use a shortcut. The plastic casing is fairly minimal and you only get a relatively large logo on the front, a small compartment for the wireless dongle on the side, while underneath you get some rubber to prevent the keyboard from sliding, as well as feet with two levels of adjustment. Now for the layout, things are a bit out of the ordinary. As is usual with 97 key keyboards, the nav cluster here isn't a distinct part of the keyboard. Instead, the arrow keys and the other keys are integrated with the alphas and numeric keys. However, this integration is executed in a relatively unique manner, primarily due to the implementation of a multifunctional knob and a small LED screen. While these are always welcome additions to any keyboard, they result in some peculiarities, such as the delete button being attached to the function keys and the plus button being downsized to accommodate the minus key positioned right above it. Additionally, the setup likely left a vacant space beside the numeric keypad, so the toggle LED keys and the power switch actually occupy a substantial portion of the keyboard. Now, although changes in the layout require an adjustment period and the keyboard is slightly wider than most 97 key competitors, the convenience of having a knob and screen can't be denied. I can even go as far as to say that it serves as one of the better implementations of these combinations. In the first menu, the control knob allows you to change the connection mode between wired, wireless or Bluetooth, and even switch the layout between Windows and Mac. The next two menus are all about the RGB, where you can modify effects, color, brightness and the speed of their execution. And the third menu is of course there to turn the knob into a standard volume adjuster for the connected device. Basically, it's a much more detailed and visual keyboard control center with functions most other keyboards delegate to shortcuts or software. The only complaint is the fact that the status screen actually displays the same information as the LEDs right below it, which again confirms the somewhat awkward implementation of this part of the keyboard. Moving on, underneath the keycaps, Monka has a currently unnamed linear switch with a palm box stem. Although Monka doesn't provide details on their official website, they definitely feel like cherry reds with similar performance, making them relatively fast and suitable for gaming. Of course, if they don't suit your preferences, they are entirely hot swappable, so you can always replace them with something else. The typing experience is generally okay, but keep in mind that the typing surface is rock solid and there seems to be very little padding on the inside of the keyboard. At least there's no unpleasant rattle on the larger keys, since the stabilizers are great for the most part. Still, the keyboard is overall relatively basic in terms of sound profile, but it's best you hear that part for yourself. Now, as I mentioned, Monka Storm has three connection modes, wired as well as wireless using a 2.4 GHz dongle or Bluetooth. Both wireless modes work quite well without noticeable lag, which is especially the case for the 2.4 GHz wireless, making it the best suited for gaming. Bluetooth supports connecting up to 3 devices, has a solid range and works seamlessly on devices that support it. The 4000 mAh battery is relatively durable, and if you're a type of person that gets around 4 to 5 hours of daily usage, you can expect it to last just under a week with full RGB. Without the RGB and same daily usage, I managed to push it to close to 2 weeks, which is ultimately a really nice result. Okay, moving on. This right here is the Guru mouse, and Monka regularly pairs it up with the Storm keyboard in some of their marketing, and it's immediately clear why. The Guru mouse features a relatively minimalist, medium-sized design with 6 buttons, and what stands out here again is this beautiful combination of matte white color with black and red details. The mouse has a uniform and flat shape, weighing only 58 grams, making it extremely light, fast and comfortable to use, whether you prefer a palm or claw grip. All the buttons and controls are well placed and within reach, and the side buttons in particular have good separation and jut out just enough to make them distinguishable and easy to use. The mouse wheel features shallow tactile steps and doubles as an additional button, and of course on the top you have the button to adjust the DPI. And yeah, all the buttons are satisfyingly clicky and I must say fairly loud, but once again, it's best you hear that part for yourself. Looking at the underside, the smoothness is aided by the large PTFE feet, but here you also have controls for turning the mouse on and off, as well as a button to switch between the 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth wireless connections. Conveniently, the mouse not only has a small dongle compartment, but also 3 small LED lights that indicate which wireless mode is currently active, or in the case of Bluetooth, which of the 2 available devices the mouse is connected to. The design is slightly spiced up with the relatively subtle implementation of RGB lighting in form of 2 small strips on its front side. It's not a flashy light show that will blow you away, but rather a subtle glow that is mostly visible on the surface in front of the mouse. Its customization is fairly limited though, as you can't turn it off, and the color depends purely on the DPI setting you have chosen. Monka also includes these cool stickers in the package, allowing you to add a touch of flair to the otherwise minimalist design. I decided to go for it, and I must say that the mouse not only looks quite cool with them, but also benefits from stickers' grippier texture, which gave me a better sense of control while using the mouse. Now, the ultra lightweight is paired up with the POD 3395 sensor, which goes up to 2600 dpi and has a tracking speed of 650 IPS. It's one of the best sensors on the market, making the Guru mouse extremely responsive, precise and accurate. It pairs excellently with fast-paced competitive FPS games, where you can expect a lag-free and fast experience whether you're playing wired or wirelessly. Of course, those 2600 dpi are definitely a marketing overkill, but disregarding that, Guru is undoubtedly a reliable super performer whether you're a gamer or a casual user. This also extends to the battery life, which thanks to the very energy efficient sensor and minimal RGB lighting can easily last for days, further helped by the automatic sleep mode, which activates after only about 20 seconds of inactivity. Lastly, even though both packages for the Storm keyboard and the Guru mouse say that these are driver customizable, sadly this wasn't available at the time of my review. If I were to go by other Monka products, each of these will probably have their own pieces of software that will then enable more nuanced customization. But for now, what you see is what you get. And what you get is a fairly decent package of 2 visual uniform pieces of peripherals that together cost around $150 US. While they do come from a relatively less known brand, they are fairly thought out, and if I had to score them individually, I'd probably give the edge to the Guru mouse just because of the peculiar layout of the Storm keyboard and its somewhat basic sound profile. Together, these two are a dependable and rock solid 7 with plenty of room for enhancements with the addition of software or even hardware in some future iterations. If you like what you've seen in this video, as always, the product link will be included in the description down below. And also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to KeenGamer for more reviews just like this one.